Hey everyone, it's Neil Glenn from MyCloud Acoustics, finishing my little mini lessons on the harmonic thirds, which I love, absolutely love them. Yeah, so we've done the D one, and we've done that tricky little bugger on the A, because it is tricky. And now we're going to the E. Now, why is it important to do it in the D, in the A, and in the E? Because then you can do harmonic thirds all over the keyboard on any strings. Simply. And know what the hell you're doing. Eh? That's the key, eh? Rather than random stuff. Because I remember these people who say, there's no such thing as rules in music or laws in music. I think that's kind of BS. It's a bit like, there's no prizes for losing, you just get an award for turning up. That's not kind of how it works. That would be like any note ever is allowed. And that's not true. You kind of got to know what you're doing. Call me old-fashioned. Call me traditional. Anyway, what we're doing, controversial statement there by me. Anyway, what we're doing here is, again, quick run through the theory. First and third is the root, and the third of the chord. Easy to find, because when you are looking at the D, the A, and the E, the fifth is always the lowest note. The middle finger is always the root note, the first, and the highest finger that we finger here, and in any of the D, A, or the E, is the third. So we take away the fifth, which is the more root note, leaves us with first and third. We then walk up the scale degrees, and we have to know that the major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, right? But we're only focusing on those first few steps, the whole, whole, half, whole. That's all we're doing. Because the more you get up there, away from the kind of root note, the less musical it feels. Even though the law says no, trust me, when you play over it, it does a little bit. Okay, it's not bad, just different. Anyway, so, and then you have to know that when you play the E, the second, it will be a minor, F sharp minor. The third will be a minor, G sharp minor. The fourth will be an A, major. The fifth will be an B minor, and the sixth we never worry about. Yeah, no, the sixth we do worry about. Yeah, C sharp minor. Yep. But the fourth one, the seventh one, we don't worry too much about. D, be D sharp. No, D diminished, which complicated. Nobody worries with that. It's never done in pop, rock, top or rock music. Really, must be done in jazz. A lot in jazz, but so I'm not an expert in jazz, so let's forget that one. So let's go through it. So we're going from E to A, F sharp minor, to D sharp minor, to A. That's essentially what we're doing. Yeah? Right? But we're not doing it with the fifth note, right? So we just take that off. So we just take this one off. So we're going E, F sharp minor. How do I know it's F sharp minor? Well, look at that. And then we go up 2 for G sharp minor. Yeah, so we're there. How do I know it's G sharp minor? There we go. And then up to A. How do I know it's A? Well, look. There's the two notes there. That's all we're doing. Yeah, so we're just going. And it's the exact same fingering as the D one. See the gaps there? So it's a lot easier to remember than the A one, because they've got that pesky G string. Still sounds good when you do it in the middle of the fretboard like that. I love that. That's why it's worth persevering with the A chord for the first and thirds, because you get notes, sounds that you don't get using the other ones, I think. Yeah, you just don't get it. It's fine. Love it. Anyway, but on the E shape, I digress. So I can stop. Remember I was doing that little some time in my life, so. Or Van Morrison, he does it up here though. But you can still do it down here. Similarly, you can still do all these here. Yeah? Because all you're doing is doing those same shapes and notes transposed. So now you know how to harmonize thirds with the D shape. And how it works. And you know how to do it with the A shape. Yeah, and you know it with the E shape. Yeah, you know how to do all that now. That's how you do it. And then you can start, as I've done it before, just bringing them in between chords, you know. And you see how you can just play between the chords, harmonising in between. Yeah, and I've just done it basic there, but if you start seeing those shapes all over, because I'm just seeing the D shape move up there, I'm just seeing the A shape move up there, sometimes A minor, and I'm seeing the E shape move up there. And then I can just target the notes and play between the chords. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Hope you liked it. Enjoy.